Hey mother truckers, how is everyone doing? This is a first for me, so I hope you all enjoy it. Today's video is going to be doing a little something different, and I'd love for y'all to give any feedback and also if you'd like to see more. So as some of you know, if you've been keeping up with hubby and I, or if you are just now finding us, welcome back and welcome to our family. So for a little backstory for y'all, hubby and I met officially back in December of 2020, and at the time he was with Vascor Transport based out of Georgetown, Kentucky. After he left Vascor, he went with a company named JRS and was leased over to Phoenix Transportation. That was in mid to late 2021. This was the first time that I was able to go with him on the road, and that is what prompted me to make content for YouTube. After a few short months, he switched companies and went to Platinum Express, based out of Dayton, Ohio. We were with them for at least about 6 to 8 months, then moved over to Anderson Trucking Services, otherwise known as ATS, based out of St. Cloud, Minnesota. One of hubby's dreams in his career as a driver has always been to be an owner-operator, and he was able to dip his toes into the waters with ATS. Sadly though, ATS was not a right fit for him. We were in the shop more than on the road, and it was causing us to lose money instead of making money. He hit his breaking point with them when he didn't have a paycheck for a whole month. We then left ATS very shortly after that and made the move over to Hurricane Express, based out of Concord, Oklahoma. One of my dreams for me that I've always had is to travel and to see as many of the states that I can see. Now that I'm able to go with hubby, my dream is slowly beginning to come true, and I want to be able to take you all with me. And also, today's video, guys, is sponsored and partnered with Dubby. Need a cool, refreshing energy drink? Look no further than Dubby. They have amazing flavors like Calio Cream, Galaxy Grenade, and Beach and Peach. They've also got really cool shakers as well, and they have also gave me a code that you can use for all who are interested. It is Wilmoth10, and you can get 10% off on your order. Using the code also helps me out a great deal as well, because I in return receive a 10% commission. So now back to what we're going to be doing in this video. I will be doing a Q&A video with 2 Hurricane Express drivers who are on the lease purchase program and who have been with the company since May. Those drivers are George Wilmoth in Green Goblin and Bobby Bridenthal in Cherry Blossom Express. Bobby and George went through orientation together, and the 3 of us have become close friends. I will be asking each of them 10 questions each, and then we'll have questions from subscribers. Now, our first question is, how long have you been driving overall? George, do you want to answer that one first?
I've been driving just over 7 years.
And Bobby?
I've been driving since September 2014.
And Bobby, what was the company that you first started with?
Star Transport out of Morton, Illinois. They are no longer around in business. They went out of business.
And George, what was your first company?
I started with CR England back in May of 2016.
And George, what made you want to come over to Hurricane Express?
I liked the way that they had everything set up.
And Bobby?
It's about the same as what George said.
Okay. And Bobby, do you see yourself employed with Hurricane longer than 5 years?
Yeah.
And George?
Yes, I do.
And George, what has been the easiest pickup that you have done and the hardest?
The easiest probably been the one in Waldron. And the hardest was in LA.
And Bobby, what about for you?
The easiest one is probably Rogers Tyson, and the hardest. I don't think I've had a hard pickup yet.
Okay. And what was the easiest delivery and hardest delivery, you would say?
The easiest one was probably going down to Phoenix or Tolleson, down to I know the name.
Albertsons.
Yeah. Albertsons is the easiest one because you can park right there on the property. The hardest one would be South Plainfield, New Jersey at Hall's Transport, which is a Miracle.
Okay.
I mean, it's not hard, it's just people are more in a rush.
Yeah.
You know, people trying to back in the doors, so everybody's in a rush. That's the East Coast for you.
And for you, George?
My easiest would be the Walmart Distribution Center in London, Kentucky. Nothing but open room to back in, you can straight line back. My hardest would be a toss-up between the one I did in Richmond, Virginia, and one I done in Laredo, Texas.
Yeah, I think I remember the one in Richmond you're just talking about. That one was...
I had to back in.
That one was very
I
tricky.
had to back in off a small two-lane unmarked street
Oh yeah.
with an apartment complex on the other side and a row of nice vehicles. Now, the one in Laredo, I had to back in off of a small unmarked two-lane street with a building, fire hydrant, and electrical pole on the other side.
Mine was my hardest one was in Missouri, in the St. Louis area. It was an alleyway, but it was a road. There was no room on either side, but I had to back in to deliver a fertilizer. And I tell you what,
I had a riser wall on my driver's side and a building straight up on the passenger side.
because the guy that took my paperwork came out and asked me if you needed me to move, if you needed me to move cars. I said no, I got it. We're good. Don't worry about it.
All right, so, George, when in between loads or while on A34 on the road, how do you pass the time?
Oh, that was simple. I sleep.
But when you're not sleeping, what do you do?
Play video games.
And for you, Bobby?
Mostly sleep or clean the inside of the truck.
Okay. And Bobby, do you have a favorite truck stop that you love going to? And if so, why?
See this one coming a mile away.
Yeah. It's kind of my second home. Highway to truck stops my friends consider it my second home. I'm always there when they call. It would either be that one or the Petro in Kingman, so I can visit my aunt and uncle.
Okay. And for you, George?
I don't really have a favorite. As long as I can park the truck safely and not get hit, I'm good.
And George, do you like the freedom of being a lease purchase, and if so, why?
Yes, I do, because I no longer get pushed around being a company driver.
And Bobby, same question to you.
It's about the same thing, but for me, I like being able to do what I want and not being told how to do my job.
All right. Now, this last question that I had come up with, he's already basically told me what, yeah. But, Bobby, what advice would you give to someone who is new to the industry and just coming fresh out of school?
Fresh out of school?
Yeah.
Is to learn everything you can from your trainer and also listen to them because they're the ones that have some experience and be patient. That's what my advice. And also there's one more thing. If you're in a bind and you need help, there is no shame in asking for help. There is none.
That's exactly true. And George?
Run, run! all jokes aside, my advice if you're just coming into it and you're fresh out of school, patience is a virtue. Just don't let anybody get you in a rush. Don't rely too heavily on what companies try to force you to do. Develop your own style.
Alright, and now we have some of our friends and subscribers who have questions for y'all. Our buddy, mine and George's buddy, Jay, wants to know, and either one of y'all, it don't matter who wants to answer first.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. How many miles do you average week to month? Or a week per month or whatever?
Per week, it varies. It could be 2,000, it could be 3,000. Just all depends on what we feel like running.
Well, that and also if the load's big or not either. It's about the same as with George. I normally try to run. I know I won't want to, but we're doing something here. Get one. If I get one, I'll just be like, hey. Yeah, I know. It's about the same with him for the miles part, but I try to run a little bit more because I like running, I like driving.
Yeah.
Another thing,
I probably spend more time in the truck than.
another thing to take into consideration is weather and traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, accidents too.
That's part of traffic.
Well, yeah.
Alright, Jay's next question
Sorry,
was.
Sorry. Didn't he also ask for about the monthly too? A week per month?
Yeah.
Whatever it is per week, you times it by 4, you get what we run per month.
Yeah. But you try to at least run at least 10,000 miles a month.
Okay.
Roughly. I mean, sometimes you can do more.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a little
Less.
less.
It just depends on the load. Pretty much everything else. Pretty much.
So for his next question, what's the average pay per mile coming out to be for y'all?
About $1.60, $1.70.
Well, it depends on if it's dry load or refrigerated.
$1.70 loaded, $1.60
You know,
You want me to get my paycheck?
it's a little mine.
You want me to get sick?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it's a. I mean, what it depends on the length of it.
$1.70 if you're refrigerated, because I took those local Sparks and it was $1.70 a mile loaded.
And Jay's last question for y'all is, what is it cost per mile to run the trucks?
There is no definite answer for that one. Because each day and each week varies.
And also, each driver is different on how they run their truck.
And Princess wanted to know what would be the best place to work in the trucking business if you do not have a CDL.
In the office.
In the office.
Ironically enough, as much as we complain and gripe about dispatchers, the best place to work in the trucking industry if you do not have a CDL is in the office.
Because you will learn a lot
Yes.
about it from the driver.
From people that actually know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, one of my friends, George knows him a little bit, Tatted Witching, had 2 questions. What has made you choose to stay trucking after everything in the last 3 years that has been going on?
It's too late for us. It's in our blood. We've been driving too long. It's in our blood.
Yeah. But, I mean, for me, it's just I enjoy it. I mean, all the different places I've been. I've actually delivered to a hospital.
Oh, wow.
So, it's.
He was saying he delivered to a hospital.
So I mean, well, because
I've delivered to an apartment complex. That was fun.
Yeah, that was down in Florida, wasn't it?
well, I
Yeah.
company I used to work for, they had a contract with pharmaceuticals, so.
Ah, okay.
And it was something different. I've hauled that. I've actually hauled the play for Frozen before it even was a movie. I actually hauled the play for Frozen.
Okay.
That was awesome.
I would imagine.
Picked up in a stadium, delivered it to a stadium.
Oh,
That
wow.
was awesome.
Her last question was oh.
Another thing that has kept me trucking is my profound love of the open road.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm on that one.
Her other question was, when y'all went through schooling, what was it like?
But I've been back in high school.
Yeah, I mean, I can attest to that, but
A very nasty case of he said, she said bullshit.
yeah, but
Pardon the language.
my school I went to the same school my dad went to. It's called TDI, Truck Driver Institute. I actually ended up getting the same instructor that my dad had when he went through. That was pretty cool. And actually, they don't teach you a lot in school.
They teach you enough to get your CDL.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But there are some people in there that already know a lot more because of their family.
Yeah.
Do it.
Because their family has been doing it for years, and
Like for me, instance, I was also. They ended up pairing me with a lot of guys that were having a hard time with the pre-trip and inspection and stuff that just came natural to me. I
yeah.
kind of helped them out. So
You want to add anything, darling?
No, I'm good.
Now, this next question, these next two are from, there is three, but two of them are for me and George to answer. It is my friend Ginger Fox. She would like to know, how old is Copperhead?
He is about 3.5 years old.
And how long have you and I been together?
We have been together just under 3 years, been married just under 2.
Okay. Now, her other question is one that we could probably all three answer. Is, what is one place that you've always wanted to travel to? Who wants to go first?
Northwest Washington. Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's a map of my life.
Yeah. What about you, Bobby?
to be honest, I've actually been almost every place.
There has to be somewhere, though, that you would love to see, and
Technically, it'll be broken arrow.
Right. It would have to be Alaska.
Alaska.
And to be honest, I would like to drive the whole road.
Yeah.
So I would like to. I just want to do it one time.
We're going to see you on Highway Through Hell. Highway Through Hell.
Now, for me, I am with hubby. I would want to see Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, because of the love of the House of Night novels that he introduced me to, and also up in Forks because of the Twilight series. And me personally, I would love to be able to see the Grand Canyon one day as well.
I can point you to the exit for it.
We're on one of the exits for it.
Yeah, actually we are.
And then, so
It's that way. It's that way because this way dead ends.
our friend Wolfman Mozzie wanted to know, how are you enjoying life on the road?
I love it. It's too late for us. It's in our blood.
It was
in my blood back in the early 2000s.
mine was when I was born.
My dad was a driver.
Well, my dad started driving. He went to school 3 days after my sister was born, 96.
Okay.
And I was 4 years old, but yeah. I mean, really, I don't see myself doing anything else.
It's over there.
Yeah.
I mean, because, and you actually think about it, we actually make more than factory workers, but we sacrifice a whole lot more than what
Yeah.
people don't realize.
That's definitely true. And he also wanted to know, what is your favorite part of being able to travel around? You would have to say. Yeah.
But they're very far few in between.
Yes.
Like this here, it's really very rare to see two drivers talking to each other unless it's they have to.
Yeah. Do y'all want to add do you guys want to add anything else before we wrap it up?
I'm good.
Alright, well that is going to do it, guys, for this video. I hope that you all enjoyed this, like this style of content, and if there is something that you would like to see us do, comment down below. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our friends and subscribers for their questions. I also want to thank my husband George and our friend Bobby for taking part in this first ever Q&A video. Stay safe and positive. Remember to never let someone or something sway you from your dreams. Always be yourself, be you. Until next time, keep the pedal to the metal and keep on trucking.